I'm asexual, but hear me out. Hear me the fuck. If I was the ringmaster of that circus and this man comes to me asking to audition and shows me that he's capable of juggling 3 chainsaws with his feet, spin a plate on his nose, and fucking breathe fire all while bouncing on one hand, I would not only hire him and pay him extra, but hey, if he's magical on the stage, he better be just as magical in this shit. If there is a reality-bending character in the Happy Tree Friends universe, it's 100% going to be Mime. This man is a fucking anomaly, and he does not get enough attention from the fans. You're telling me he lost to a literal caveman stuck in an ice cube in a popularity poll? What the fuck? Man's so anomalous that you might as well call the SCP Foundation to come and contain his ass. And they would classify him as Keter as soon as they learned he could travel through imaginary doors and make escapes through imaginary stairs. Mime is one of the most unique characters of the show, from his cute design all the way to his goofy antics. Now this is a character you can simp over. I know some of y'all are gonna be talking about Flippy, and let me tell you this. If you're simping over a man who can literally pull your guts out and choke you with them as soon as he spots something as minor as a camera flash, I don't know about you, but I'd suggest getting your morals checked and consider booking therapy.
Daddy, I can fix him!
No, you cannot. The only person who can fix Flippy is Flippy himself, and even that didn't last long. Mime simply wants to make sure you're happy and entertained, especially if you're at your worst. He doesn't speak, but you can easily accommodate him by actually paying attention to his communication patterns and applying them yourself. Maybe learn sign language together while you're at it. If the rest of the Happy Tree Friends were willing to accommodate Mime to this extent, I can assure you a decent amount of deaths could have been prevented. And under no circumstances should he be anywhere near the mole. You know what, he shouldn't be near Lumpy either. That bitch has fucked him over enough times already. I don't think I need to explain why he is an anomaly worthy of an SCP number.
But this is a tangent and my autistic ass will deliver it.
Cartoon logic is sure as hell on Mime's side in a Final Destination X-World. And if he's on his unicycle, you can expect shit to go down pretty quickly. It's almost as if for better or worse that it makes him more powerful. Mime is capable of outrunning a drill rocket, moving faster than a cheetah whilst juggling balls, surviving the impact of that same drill colliding next to him, something the other characters would typically die to, and actually landing back on his unicycle afterwards, unscathed, and catching the 3 balls! Well, at least it's nothing compared to what happened to Toothy. The reason I say other characters wouldn't survive is because Mime literally
Hits his head on the fucking pavement.
and then at that force and speed, you would expect it to be lights out for him. But I guess the luck was just on his side. So tell me how the fucking nutty got his shit cracked like an egg just for being tripped by one of the trash bandits. It was only when he let his guard down after 5 close calls that he finally bit the dust due to Pop's ignorance when he threw the anchor.
And it just so happened to impale Mime's head.
Yeah, that death pisses me off so much.
The dear boy could have survived when Pop fucking popped him.
That's not all when it comes to the unicycle, because this bitch can apparently climb the trees on it too. Mime has to be added some super upgrades to that shit, cause there's no way y'all can tell me that's an ordinary unicycle. Shit comes with its own horn too, bro. Now we're getting to the point where if Mime was a little more aware of his surroundings and actually utilized his miming abilities more often, he could be up there with Splendid and have one of the highest survival rates out of any other character. To be fair though, for someone who rarely survives throughout the entire show, Mime's survival rate is very impressive compared to other characters that appear more often, being higher than the rates of 2 of the 4 primary characters.
You could get some
good-ass benefits from not appearing often in the show. Anyway, there's a lot of shit to unpack here, especially if we're talking about the TV series. This man mimes all the shit in its tent, and somehow it's capable of making noise. Mime took notice of his safe being missing after the trash bandits join in the act and Mime stealing it. The invisible car horn I mentioned earlier is actually audible. This bitch can sit on a chair he mimes and have his feet off the fucking ground. Mime is capable of exiting seats using fake stairs, and he can actually take shit down with him as well. This bitch killed his crush with a mime-tarted Cupid's bow and actually managed to fucking book it through a mimed door.
Ow! That's not even humanly possible!
Oh, Mime's just cleaning an imaginary glass plane. Surely nothing can go wrong. Where the fuck did the glass come from? How did he place it there with such precision? Where did he get the glass? Imagine what wonders Mime could do if he used the door trick against Flickby. What if he, like, fucking trapped him in whatever pocket dimension that door leads to, saving everyone else from his carnage? Forget about Splendid, we need the mute deer to create a pocket dimension! There are two sides of Mime's death coin. He either dies at the very beginning or dies near the very end. And if the latter's the case, expect his luck to be pushed to its limits. And boy, MondoMedia sure knows how to screw with our heads. I've already brought up the 5 near misses Mime had in a whole lot of love, but allow me to be more specific. He was quick enough to move faster on his unicycle as soon as he confirmed the threat among him. If he pedaled any slower, it's the drill going up his skull. Don't even tell me Mime could have turned around. That rocket was unpredictable, and mind you, being fought over for control between Pop and Sniffles, so God knows where the fuck the rocket was going to go. For some reason, it was just an ass-seeking rocket, and Mime's ass was the target. Mime could have been crushed by Petunia's car or bisected by the fin of the rocket, and neither happened. He just so happened to be perfectly positioned to his right in order to avoid the fin while it vertically cuts Petunia's car in half at rapid speed. Mime could have been killed either from the drill itself, the force of the blast, or simply by busting his head open, but none of that happened, and he made it unscathed. How the fuck? I want you to actually pay attention to this entire scene, particularly the windows and the placement of Mime and Cuddles here. The window on the left was opened by Cuddles prior to the collapse, while the one on the right is closed. As part of the house falls, if you look very closely at the very last second, Mime is positioned at the open window while Cuddles is positioned at the window that is closed. Because the window on Mime's side was open, he lived to tell the tale. The same cannot be said about Cuddles though.
Oh man, and Mime freaking died to a fallen acre.
That's not the only time Mime's luck was being a
Little silly.
This man literally fell off a plane while gravity pulled him down so fucking hard that the skin on his head literally peeled off. That loose skin ends up doubling as a makeshift skin and parachute, allowing him to safely land. But the wind said, "Fuck you, me!" and blew him towards the cliff and let him fall, having his skin get caught up in a tree and having to rip it off himself before bouncing off even more rock and making it through all that too. Not. His eye was breaking, what the fuck? Even when Mime dies, the vast majority of his deaths are quick and relatively painless, a luxury many of the other characters cannot afford. Be that as it may, he has suffered 5 painful deaths out of his 26 so far, most of them being caused by guess who? We're not going to bring the blender into this. When a character in Happy Tree Friends goes through physical pain in any scale, so long as their death ain't quick, you can expect some gruesome screams here and there. Not with Mime. We know that he's capable of making noises, as evidenced particularly in the first 2 internet seasons, therefore he can speak, but chooses not to. So if that's the case, how the hell is Mime able to keep his act up so well even through some of his most painful deaths? His pain tolerance has to be higher than literally everyone else's to be able to pull this shit off. I find it impressive that since the TV series, not even a peep has exited this deer's mouth even when his guts were literally set on fire. Mime has to have no gag reflex either, cause he could've just vomited all that alcohol up and saved himself some time. I bet if water or even alcohol made contact with his exposed skin and winged it, he wouldn't even make a sound there either.
Don't even get me started on when this dude has his eyes sliced by paper before getting his ass skinned.
First of all, that shit has to hurt. This is one of them damn scenes where I cannot look at it in full due to how fucked up it is. Second of all,
You're telling me he died here, yet Flaky got her ass skinned prior and survived up until the explosion?
and the blender.
You said you wouldn't bring that up.
That motherfucking blender.
I thought you said you weren't gonna bring up the blender.
Shut up!
How do you not scream while getting your hand cut the fuck up by something a certain someone should have turned off before unplugging it? Even Splendid has let out some agonizing screams in its only on-screen death in the entire series. I'm betting you all the cash I got in my wallet that Mime is not going to even exhale air if he suffered severe radiation poisoning as well. Feeling the pain is more than enough, but being able to suppress yourself like that in response to that pain is not only psychologically and physiologically impossible, but very admirable in a cartoon like this one.
I completely forgot to mention this while I was running this script, but you know how in Once Upon a Time where Giggles launched herself towards her friends in jars and made them all fall to the ground? Everyone else is disoriented when they realistically should be dead, but Mime keeps up his acts, apparently oblivious to the fact he fell like 100 feet and uninjured.
Mime's done something to Disco Bear that no other man has done before. He cock-blocked his ass. Pulled up wearing a fly-ass afro that this bitch was going to buy and pulled both bitches he woos over. And when he tried to win them over, this nigga's stupid. You ain't getting no bitches, DB. Let the disco era die and actually grow with your fans. Bitch. Now I've proven to you why Mime is one of the most powerful characters in all of Happy Tree Friends, yet doesn't get enough of the attention he deserves. I've seen good fan art of him, I've seen great fan animations featuring him, but I can hardly find any good cosplays of him. All I see is either Flippy or Flaky, and occasionally one of the core 4, but Mime? Someone has to pull up in a good-ass Mime cosplay, and I can die happy for once. What was that? What wish list?
You didn't see shit.
If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed my autistic little tangent and left with a couple laughs and bleeding ears. Before you go, have this cute little drawing I made of the deer boy. Maybe screenshot it and put it as your profile picture, I don't know. Maybe spread the disease that is this picture throughout YouTube and don't tell anyone you got it from me. Or do. I don't give a shit. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, and take care.
Want to see more of these? Feel free to let me know.